do the intro before we get started so that we can start our meeting on time. Gives me about 90 seconds. I'm Mark Laskowski. I'm the superintendent. Very proud today working with all your great kids. I want to thank you for lending them to us and also attending tonight, because it's a fun day and it's an opportunity for students to show some appreciation to some staff members and for us to kind of give them appreciation as well. We were lucky this year. They had to work hard to get some of their positions. They had to go through an election process. That doesn't always happen, but it's good experience for them. And let's get started, all right? So you're on, Ms. Ford.
The meeting for February 9th, 2026 is called to order. Superintendent Maddie Pepelinski, will you please lead us off with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is one of the times in the board meeting when the community members are allowed to address the board. There will also be a public hearing at the end of the meeting. Does anyone in the audience wish to be heard at this time?
President, I'm Kristen Sides, a parent of 2 Roseville students, and I saw something in the newsletter about a 0 millage rate increase bond proposal on May 5th, 2026. What can you tell us about this proposal?
That is a very good question. Our superintendent and the team will be happy to preside over that issue.
We had a core team looking at the financial debts and saw that we had an opportunity to extend our millage rate and generate money to transform the district, preparing it for the next century. We knew that our population of students was going down, and we had too many buildings for the number of students we had. We also knew that the buildings are aging, costing the district significant amounts of money just to maintain the structures. We felt that this was a great opportunity to address our needs without raising the rate of taxes on our community.
What other questions might the board have about the bond proposal?
President DeFore, can you explain the steps that we took to determine the needs of the district?
Yes, I think that we should have Reham Sahar, our building and grounds director, discuss first what infrastructure analysis was done on our buildings.
So a couple of things happened to determine the district's needs. First, the state of Michigan commissioned a school infrastructure study across the state. The study was done by partners in architecture and Barton Mallow. The study looked at districts by building to determine what infrastructure would be needed in the next 8 years. This study was limited in scope to only include learning spaces and not administration buildings or athletic and parking lot facilities. It was a good start, though.
What was the next step in determining our needs in those other areas?
Actually, we have already done an additional facilities review to look at all the components, including our administration building, parking lots, and athletic facilities. The complete report is available to the public in our office. I would like to ask the board to accept this report as part of the application for the school bond proposal.
Director Sarar, is that something we can do? This is required as a part of the bond application process. Can I get a motion from a board member to accept this facilities report?
Mr. Wilson would like to accept the motion to accept the facilities report as presented.
Mr. Green will second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Yes, Mr. Bowman?
Madam President, what is the top priority of the bond proposal?
Superintendent Pepelinski can answer that question.
Certainly. Our declining enrollment has been a big concern for over 10 years. We needed to look at whether our facilities could be more efficient. We had Plant Moran Real Point analyze our student enrollment trends and projections, as well as looking at our building utilization percentage. We found that our district facilities are only running at 46%. The state recommended is 85%. That tells us we have too many facilities for our student enrollment. These buildings will cut into the budget for our student programs. We must reduce our facilities to maintain and grow programs for our students.
Thank you, Superintendent Pepelinski. Mr. Wilson?
Madam President, do we know the average enrollment, what the average enrollment is for other school buildings in our area?
Deputy Superintendent Booker, can you give us some insight into the average building size from your experience in other districts?
I will be happy to give that information. My experience with other districts and conversations with architects has shown that the elementary level averages around 400 through 600 students. At the middle school level, it is 700 through 900. This is just an average. Mallow Junior High in Utica has over 1,400 students in it. High schools in our area are averaging 1,200 to 2,400 students. Our high school currently has 1,240 students. As you can see, we are way below the average in both the elementary and middle school levels, which makes our overhead costs higher per student. 6 of our 7 elementary schools are under 400 kindergarten through 5th grade students. Both our middle schools are under 700 students. Even combining the 2 middle schools, it will stay below 900 students.
Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Pepito, can you give me some insight into the effect on staffing when you reduce the buildings?
Yes, I would be happy to share that information. Staff would be reassigned to areas of need. This includes teachers, clerical, and other support staff. Our vision is not to lay off staff. We will be able to reduce staff through retirement and other losses, such as resignations and transfers. We currently have a teacher shortage. This reorganization will help us staff our buildings by not having to find as many teachers based on our enrollment. That being said, we encourage our students to consider going into the teaching profession. There is no better way to make a difference in this world than to shape the young minds of our students.
I believe this will be a good time for the board to approve the utilization study for the bond application. Can I get a motion to approve the utilization study conducted by the Plant Moran Real Point?
Trustee Page would like to make a motion to accept the utilization study conducted by Plant Moran Real Point.
Trustee Duhart will second that motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other questions regarding the bond from the board members? Mr. Green?
Madam President, can you share with us how this bond proposal would be funded?
I will turn that over to Jada Jenkins, our Executive Director of Business and Finance.
School bonds for large projects are funded through a voter-approved property tax levy where citizens allow the district to borrow money for capital projects. The debt is repaid over time, usually 20 to 30 years, by taxpayers. The current bond will not increase the citizens' current tax levy. The use of bond money cannot be used for salaries. In most all other states, the state government provides funding for maintenance of buildings. Michigan does not. This is why bonds are so important to keep our facilities up to date. Our general fund would not be able to make this important investment into our other facilities.
Thank you, Ms. Jenkins. Any additional questions from the board? Ms. Page?
How will this bond affect the free lunch programs?
Superintendent Pepelinski, can you help address this question?
President, our food service director, Nevaeh Scandalis, who is here tonight, is the perfect person to answer this question.
The bond will have no impact on the free lunch program. Our program is fully funded by the federal government based on our poverty rate. Currently, we have over 70% of our students that would qualify for free lunch. This high percentage allows all students to receive this benefit. Currently, the state of Michigan is kicking in funds for districts that do not qualify for all students to receive the federal free lunch. Our concern is that the program will not continue after this year. It all relies on the federal government's budget each year.
Thank you, Director Scandalis. Any questions from the board? Ms. Duhart?
How does the bond help improve our special needs students?
Superintendent Pepelinski, what are your thoughts?
President DeFore, this is a very important question since approximately 15% of our students receive services. Our Special Education Director, Jay Johnson, is here and is able to answer this question for us.
When it comes to helping special needs students, the reduction of number of buildings will reduce the amount of travel our support services will be on the road. This will make them more available to students, staff, and parents, therefore making more efficient use of their time. This will also help increase the opportunities to observe students in the class and evaluate if they need assistance. Our youngest learners, early childhood special education students, will be housed in our early childhood center. They will be in the same building as our other preschool students, making it a better environment for students and families.
Mr. Green?
How will we get this information out to our community?
We will direct that question to Justine Brunn, our communications facilitator.
To get information out to the community, we will have to take a multi-pronged approach. We have already set up a page on our website, rosevillepride.org. Just look for a 2026 bond proposal badge that pops up, and you will see a frequently asked questions document. This will continue to change as we get more questions from parents in the community. We will set up community forum meetings beyond the monthly meetings held by the superintendent. A community newsletter will go out to all residents with information and links to our website. The superintendent will also hold staff meetings at buildings to help answer any questions they may have. We encourage individuals who have questions to reach out to the superintendent.
Ms. Duhay-Lansad?
President DeFore, how will busing be affected if the bond passes and the number of buildings is reduced?
Superintendent Pepelinski, will you please provide us with some information about busing changes based on the bond proposal projects?
For those details, I'll ask our Coordinator of Transportation, Kiwan Lewis, to provide information about our proposed changes.
I will gladly share this information. Currently, elementary students who are over 1 mile distance from their home school will still be provided the same bus service. However, having less buildings will have more students eligible for busing. The biggest change will come at the middle school level. Currently, our 6th grade students are on the 1 mile rule just like the elementary, and that will not change. Currently, our 7th and 8th grade students are on the 1.5 mile distance to qualify for busing. If the bond passes, we have included additional buses to lower the distance to 1 mile just like the elementary. This will remove situations where one family member qualifies for busing and the other family member does not, even though they are going to the same school. This is the biggest commitment from the district to provide better services for the community. Maybe it will even reduce absences too.
Thank you for that information. What other questions does the board have regarding the bond proposal? Ms. Duhay-Lansad?
President DeFore, do the proposed changes in transportation meet all the legal requirements of the state of Michigan?
I will direct that question to our local legal counsel, Kamarion Garth.
According to the Michigan Compliance School Code 380, Section 1321, transportation for pupils requirements are if a board of a school district provides transportation for its residents' pupils, other than students with a disability transported or pupils who cannot safely walk to school. The school board must provide transportation to and from school for each resident public student or if both following requirements are met. A, the student district provides transportation for elementary school level, middle or junior high school level, or high school level, as defined by the local school board in which the pupil is enrolled. B, the pupil attends in the school district to which the pupil is eligible to be admitted. Charters do not apply here because they must provide their own transportation if they choose to. 2, transportation provided shall be without charge to the resident pupil, the parent, guardian, or person standing as the parent of the pupil. 3, a student district is not required to transport or pay for transportation of a resident pupil living within 1.5 miles by the nearest travel route.
That sounds very complicated. Can you summarize it for us, please?
To put it as simple as possible, we may choose to provide transportation, but it is not required. If we do choose to provide transportation, it must include resident students outside of a 1.5 mile radius. If the district chooses to provide transportation, they cannot charge for the service.
Superintendent Pepelinski, I assume our new bus guidelines will meet all those requirements.
Yes, it does. In fact, we are providing more services than is required by law.
Any additional questions or concerns? Mr. Wilson?
President DeFore, how do we get input for this bond proposal?
Superintendent Pepelinski, can you share how we got input from our stakeholders for the bond proposal?
Absolutely. Regarding our bond proposal feedback, a core group of staff met initially looking at our needs and financial opportunities to meet those needs. We then sent out surveys and focus groups using an outside agency to help ensure we receive open and honest feedback. What people might not know is that our school improvement process gets information each year. I would like to have Miles Merriweather, our Director of Federal and State Grants, explain how we do that.
During the school improvement process, we collect a variety of data from a variety of stakeholders throughout the year. The school improvement teams meet a minimum of 5 times a year and analyze 4 types of data during those meetings. We utilize this data to form our school improvement plans at the building level, as well as guide and identify the goals for the district. Here are the 4 types of data. We collect demographic data, including community, staff, and student demographics, which gives us a window into who we serve as a district. We collect perception data, which involves a survey that we send out to our families, staff, and students to see where they think we have room to grow. We collect process data and send out a survey to our certified staff to identify our district processes and see where adjustments need to be made. In addition, we collect and identify areas of need as identified by the state, MSEP, PSAT, SAT, and local iRating and STAR achievement data. All data is collected and shared with school improvement teams and shared with building level staff as well as other stakeholder groups at parent events, conferences, etc.
Mr. Bowman?
President DeFore, I understand that our district has worked hard to stay current with our technology, both in classrooms and our offices. I hear some school districts' data is being held for ransom. What have we done to protect ourselves from such an attack?
Lucas Sides, Director of Technology, can address this question for us. Lucas, can you share what safeguards we have in place?
In recent years, school districts have been targets of bad actors trying to get into their network and get access to district data for a ransom. Most recently, this past September, South Lyon Community Schools had a cyber attack that requested ransom to get access back to their data. School districts have been bad actor targets across the country for the past several years. In cybersecurity, bad actors are typically referred to as cyber threat actors or malicious actors. They are individuals or groups that exploit vulnerabilities in systems or carry out attacks. Their actions can include stealing sensitive data, disrupt services, or causing harm to individuals or organizations. Here are a few things we are doing to protect ourselves from an attack. SetSeg, our district insurance company, requires its clients to use Arctic Wolf for network penetration testing. We send all staff monthly phishing campaigns and awareness videos using KnowBe4 to help all staff identify potential cyber attacks. Phishing attacks aim to steal or damage sensitive data or deceiving people into revealing personal information like passwords and credit card numbers. We are working with our staff to require MFA or multi-factor authentication as part of their network sign-in process. In December of 2022, we created a cyber attack incident response plan that will help support us if we are a victim of a district-wide cyber attack. This plan was created with the help of a cybersecurity consulting company. Our district data is backed up to an off-network data vault. This will help us restore it if we are unable to get it back. We have updated virus scanning and endpoint detection software on all district computers. We have worked hard to review all district computer policies, access privileges, and remove staff that are no longer part of RCS. President DeFore, we also need to approve the purchase of some new Cyber Vault security hardware to continue our protection of our data. The purchase has been bid to meet the state requirements. Can the board approve the purchase in the amount of $80,667?
Yes, we can, Director Sides. Due to the cost of this purchase, we will need a roll call vote. First, I need a motion to purchase the Cyber Vault security hardware.
Duhay Lansad would like to make a motion to approve the purchase of the Cyber Vault hardware using bond funds for $80,667.
Page, I will second that motion.
Starting from my right, please start the roll call vote.
Duhart, yes.
Duhay Lansad, yes.
Wilson, yes.
Bowman, yes.
Green, yes.
Page, yes.
DeFore, yes. Motion carries. Superintendent Pepelinski, you may begin the process purchasing. What other questions might the board have regarding the bond proposal? Now it's time for our second public hearing of the meeting. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard?
Hello, my name is Darren Duhay-Lawson. I have a kid at Roseville High School. All of my kids have been in band and music, so I'm in choir. So anyway, I have a question about how the bond supports the arts. Will there be any projects related to our performing arts programs?
I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm going to direct that question to Keontae Booker, our Deputy Superintendent, who oversees our curriculum and instruction.
We are very excited about our plans to support the arts in this proposal. Our main auditorium at Roseville Middle School needs a major overhaul, including a new roof, ceiling, soundboards, and speakers. We also plan to renovate the entryway into the auditorium to increase the lobby area and incorporate any stair or handicapped walkway, so it is not out in the elements. Part of the Roseville Middle renovations include better parking for our auditorium as well. We have included over $700,000 in band equipment. We hope to be able to provide instruments for all students interested in band. We are very proud of all of our performing arts and the recent growth of these programs, and we want to support them the best we can.
Thank you, Deputy Superintendent Booker. If there are no other questions or comments, we will continue with the next agenda item, Nice Things Happening. I will now turn it over to Deputy Superintendent Rice.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. At this time, when we do things like Nice Things Happening, for this evening, what we're doing is celebrating things that are good around the district. For this evening, our students that are participating in the school board have been asked to identify a staff member that has influenced them throughout their grade school, middle school, or high school career, and they have all done that. So at this time, I would ask that all of the staff members come up at once, and if your student is in the back row, stand directly behind them. If your student is in the front row, please stand off to either side until the front row or until the back row is done. So at this time, staff members, come on up.
Oh my God. I'm about to die.
Keontae, you're up. You get to start.
I nominated Ms. Brewer because she has been there for me through a lot, whether it's schoolwork or personal issues. Ever since I came to Roseville, she's always been one of my favorite teachers. She's kind, she helps her students, and most importantly, she helped me. Even when I was struggling with friendships, I always came to her, and she always helped me no matter what. She always gives the best advice, and she always brings a positive attitude with her all around, even when she's not having the best day. She always been my support and one of my greatest supporters inside and outside of school, making me feel better about myself all the time. I'm so grateful to have her in my life, and I wish her nothing but the best in life.
Miss DeFleece, I just wanted to take a moment to tell you how special you are to me and how much you've impacted my life. You were more than just my 5th grade teacher. You were someone who truly believed in me, even when I wasn't fully sure I believed in myself. That belief changed me more than I ever knew. Through all the conversations we've had over the years and everything, you changed. Oh my gosh, that belief changed me more than I ever knew. Through all the conversations we've had over the years, it was always clear that teaching was never just a job to you. You cared deeply about every student that walked through your door, not only about how we performed in class, but about who we were as people. The extra time, heart you poured into everything, you made such a lasting impact. And it showed how deeply you cared about helping us grow, not only as students, but as people. Even after I wasn't in your class anymore, you never stopped caring. You still took the time to check in on me whenever I came to pick up my younger siblings or attend school events. After years of not having you as my teacher, you were still there in so many ways. Thank you for always listening when I needed it, for pushing me when I doubted myself, and for help shaping me into the person I become. You played a bigger role in my life than you probably realize, and I'll always be grateful for you.
For my staff member appreciation, I'd like to acknowledge my band director, Mr. Cheshire. Some of the most crucial events in my life have been a result of music being a constant throughout my high school career. I believe an individual is the product of their environment, and this heavily includes guidance from instructors, and I'm extremely grateful to have gotten Mr. Cheshire as our program's band director. I've witnessed throughout these years that he brings an uplifting energy every day and shows constant support towards all his students, believing in their abilities, especially when they have their doubts. He seeks potential in his students, and with that, inspires them to seek that potential in themselves. I've been pushed to advance technically and expand my knowledge musically beyond what I believed I was capable of due to his direction. Thank you, Mr. Cheshire, for the inspiration and guidance in my career as a musician.
I feel like I'm about to cry. Please, everybody turn to the left if I do. To Miss Mead, even though I haven't been in any of your classes consistently other than sophomore year, I would like to say that you've been a huge role model in my life these past few years at RHS. I was never an outgoing kid growing up. I didn't like putting myself out in a spot or to interact with people I didn't know. But coming into these theater's productions, you have pushed, shoved, and slapped me out of my comfort zone to the max. Theater is the one place where I feel like I can be myself and remove all types of negative energy from the day. You've always welcomed me back with a smile on your face and a fire waiting to be placed under me, so you get nothing but the best from me. She has never made me feel less than, and always encouraged me to be the best I can be, even when she snatches the red hair dye out my scalp. Being in these last 3 productions has made my little dreams so happy, even when they're not on a huge stage. With each rehearsal, another side of me would come out, a side that was too shy to do anything and to be around anyone. But I knew with your guidance, I could. Because of you, I'll always put my best foot forward, be the loudest and proudest, and never let anybody belittle or dim in my light because they couldn't shine as bright as mine. Thank you, Ms. Mead.
I have had the privilege of having Miss Anderson DeWitt as my math teacher for the past 2 years. And there truly isn't a better teacher I could have ever asked for. Math has never been the easiest subject for me, but Mrs. Anderson created an environment where I felt comfortable not always knowing the answer. In her classroom, I learned that it's okay to ask questions, no matter how many, and that making mistakes doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're learning. That mindset alone has made a huge difference for me, not just in math, but in how I approach challenges in general. Mrs. Anderson also has an incredible way of making learning fun and engaging. Whether we're doing scavenger hunts around the room or participating in the boat regatta, she finds creative ways to help us understand difficult concepts while actually enjoying the process. Because of that, most days I walk into her class excited. Even when I know I'm going to struggle, I also know she will be there to patiently walk me through each step until I understand. To me, she is one of those people who is truly meant to be a teacher. She is exceptional at what she does, and she has taught me skills and lessons that I know I will carry with me for a long time. Anyone who has her as a teacher is extremely lucky, and you can see that in how much she cares about her students and how committed she is to helping us succeed. I am incredibly grateful for her and everything she has done for me, and I know I am a better student and person because of her.
Hello everyone, my name is Lisa DeFore and I'm your 2026 Mock School Board President. Today I'd like to talk about a teacher who somehow makes learning feel less like a chore and more like something you actually want to show up for. Ms. Chap has been one of the most positive and motivating influences in my education. One of the reasons I don't dread school as much as I should. Ms. Chap has a way of explaining things that make sense, which is impressive considering how confusing school subjects can be. She's patient, supportive, and somehow always knows when students need encouragement or a reality check, and a heartfelt woman who is ready to chase her dreams. She creates a classroom where it feels okay to ask questions, make mistakes, and still feel respected, which honestly makes a huge difference. Because of her, I felt more confident in myself and more motivated to try and not just get through the day. Ms. Chap did more than chase her dreams. She lived them. Not only our teacher, but the teacher she always wanted to be, a special education teacher, making sure all students and all kids learned what they needed to, no matter how challenging or simplistic it would be. She did it. Ms. Chap doesn't just teach a subject. She makes students feel seen and capable, and that's something that sticks with you even after the class period ends. For those reasons and many more, she deserves to be recognized as an educator who truly makes an impact. And for that, I say thank you, Ms. Chap, for always making my days a little brighter, the clouds a lot clearer, and the world a better place.
Good evening. Good evening, members of the school board and community. I stand here to recognize someone whose dedication to the school's community is unparalleled, Mr. Lewis. From the day I saw him do a windmill to get up from the ground after gaining a frisbee under the bleachers, I knew that Mr. Lewis could be the one who could kickstart many people into a journey on the road to breakdancer status. So this evening, I would like to honor Mr. Lewis as a great PE teacher and an awesome breakdancing mentor. As a PE teacher, you have made it clear that staying active is the way to go, whether it is to maintain good health or to simply enjoy time spent moving. By fostering a safe and welcoming environment, you have made it easier for students to enjoy class while also improving their skills or developing new hobbies like breakdancing. Mr. Lewis, you have not just worked here, you have shaped the future of this community. Thank you for your service.
I chose Mr. Thompson because even on days when I was really upset or irritated, his class would be a nice place to calm down and relax for me. He knew how to joke around, make me laugh, but he also really cared about my feelings, which made me happy in his class even during times when I was upset and frustrated. I'll always remember him as a teacher that brings me joy and comfort, and he'll always be one of my favorite teachers. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
For my honored staff member, I chose my softball coach, Coach Dembo. With no prior experience before high school and inconsistent coaching history, I entered this season unsure of what to expect from myself or even in the sport. Even in one season, my coach's passion for the sport, belief in me, and consistent support motivated me to commit, build confidence, and truly enjoy playing. He created a safe and encouraging environment where I felt supported and pushed to grow, and I'm extremely grateful for the reliability and encouragement he's given me during my final year, and I hope this moment serves as a small effort to give him the recognition he truly deserves.
Over these past 3 years, I've had the honor of getting to know and have Mrs. Colias as a teacher. We first met before I was even her student on our school's Spain and France trip. I had already heard many stories of her before from my brother and on how she would definitely be one of my favorite teachers, and from the moment I met her, I knew what my brother meant. The first thing I noticed about her was her cheerful and friendly personality, and I think it's safe to say anyone who knows her knows she's one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet. She seemed very unapologetically herself, and that's what I found myself to like most about about her. Whether it was learning about new cultures abroad or in the classroom teaching us about U.S. politics, she put her all into everything she did and always made sure to make it fun and engaging for everyone. Her positive energy seemed to always latch onto me and everyone around her, and when I had her as my AP Gov teacher the next year, it quickly became my favorite class, not just because she was my teacher, but also from the environment she made. Every day, I would actually look forward to having her class, even when the work got to be challenging. She made me push myself as a student and also made sure that I knew I could always come to her about anything going on in my life. Even when I was having the worst day ever, her presence alone was enough to cheer me up. And although I don't have her as a teacher this year, she still has left a great impact on me. I've learned a lot from her that goes beyond just schoolwork. Even if she didn't know it, her positivity and kindness pushed me not to only become a better student, but also a better person. I will forever be lucky to have had the honor of having Mrs. Colias as a teacher, and I know in the future she will no doubt greatly inspire and influence many other people as well, because that's just who Mrs. Colias is.
I am honoring Mrs. Sarah Druin, who has been very supportive of me ever since I became her student as a sophomore. Not only has she taught me how to analyze a text in English class, formulate a caption, and put together a spread, but she has been instrumental in teaching me to have more confidence in my writing skills. When I first joined the Journalism 2 class junior year, I was hesitant to publish any work I'd written and was even afraid to submit my writing in other subjects. While my potential was invisible to me, Mrs. Druin saw it and she encouraged me to do my best. And that's just what she does. Whenever a student is conscious about their abilities, she tells them that they are capable and helps them to put their best work forward. She doesn't judge or dismiss students when they struggle. She works with them and guides. Sorry. She doesn't judge or dismiss students when they struggle. She works with them and guides them to be successful. Mrs. Druin helped me to believe I could be a good writer and publish well-written web stories and assignments, and most importantly, she helped me to believe in myself. To Mrs. Druin, I thank you very much for all of your support, and I am excited to complete another yearbook with you.
Mrs. Roush, I cannot even begin to list all the reasons I have chosen to honor you today. From the moment I came to RHS in 9th grade, you have been such a positive light in my life and in the lives of all your students. You are the kind of teacher who makes people feel seen, and that is something not everyone gets a chance to experience. That compassion and understanding you have always shown has made such a difference for me and so many others. No matter what kind of day someone is having, you always show up with a smile and a presence that makes things better. Your positivity is contagious, and your kindness has a way of making someone's entire day better. I admire you deeply, not only as a teacher, but as a person. You put your whole heart into everything you do, and it shows in the way you treat others and the impact you leave behind. Every conversation with you, no matter how short, leaves me feeling encouraged and content. Thank you for believing in your students, for supporting us, and for always showing kindness. I am beyond thankful that I had the opportunity to have you as my teacher. You have left such a lasting impact on my life, and I know your influence will stay with me long after I leave the school. You are truly one of a kind, and I will always be grateful for everything you have done. Thank you so much.
The golden rule, treat people how you want to be treated. This is a rule that I believe in and a quote that the teacher I'm honoring, Miss Morris, embodies. I didn't just choose Miss Morris because she would allow me to turn in papers past her deadline. I chose her because she was the first teacher to treat me not as a student, but as a person. When I was in 10th grade, I used to miss my first hour almost every day, Miss Morris's class. But instead of her being mad or distant, she would encourage me to come get my missing work and ask me to come to class every time, showing that she actually cared no matter how many times I missed her class after saying I would be there. But not to talk too much, I'm honoring Miss Morris because not only of her teaching skills, but because she sees you for you. Thank you, Miss Morris.
As a senior looking back, it was very difficult for me to choose a teacher to honor because I don't interact with many teachers beyond the standard. Mr. Rohde was an easy choice. During my sophomore year in U.S. history and every year after that, you were always there to help keep me on the right track, both academically and personally. Your support, patience, and encouragement truly meant more to me than you probably realize. I always felt like you cared about my success, and that made a big difference. Thank you for everything you did for me. I really appreciate you.
I chose to honor Miss Jordan. Whenever anyone would ask me about AP Comp, I would always say how my teacher, Miss Jordan, was the smartest person I have ever met. This is not just because of the amount of knowledge stored, but also how she chooses to share it with her students. English classes were never my strong suit nor my favorite, but AP Comp changed that thanks to Miss Jordan. Her interactive and unique teaching style challenged me like no other English class ever has, which greatly aided my literary skills. Her lessons didn't just help me improve in the classroom. They stuck with me for every presentation, every writing, and every speech like this one. Miss Jordan sets a perfect example of how a teacher should set their students up for a future outside their class as well as in it. She has shown me that brilliance is gifted to those who put in the effort to improve and learn every day. Her balance of kindness, intelligence, and liveliness inspires me to find the same balance in my future. Miss Jordan's loyalty and passion for teaching is truly admirable, which is why I chose to honor her today.
I have been very lucky to have had many teachers who have made a profound impact on my life. However, none of them compare to Mr. Stevens. Believe it or not, our story didn't have the sweet beginnings that some may tell stories of their own mentors. I believe that before I get into why he's my mentor, I should tell you that story. I was working on the Moon Mania project for his class, and little sophomore year me had various hot glue gun burns and a stab wound from a skewer. Don't ask, it's a long story. We ended up striking up a conversation about life, and that was when I came out of my shell. You see, up until that conversation, I thought that Stevens was weird. Just kidding. Well, sort of. I thought that Stevens was one of those teachers that prioritizes building relationships with the athletes in the school and just bypasses the students in the school who weren't popular and in with all the coaches. He became someone I could trust and someone I could lean on when I needed extra support. When I felt like my world was crumbling around me, he was there waiting with a pep talk and advice. He taught me how to look up to the sky with curiosity, patience, and wonder, and how to ask better questions when the answers weren't obvious. He never just taught astronomy. He taught me how to navigate uncertainty with a level head, and that there will always be people who I can go to when I need help. When I felt lost, he helped me recalibrate like a telescope focusing in on the cosmos. The passion he has for his job is awe-inspiring. He cares for every student he has and makes sure to build meaningful connections with each of them. He is the reason I want to become a teacher, not just because he knows his stuff, but because he is an extraordinary person. So thank you, Mr. Stevens, for not just teaching me about the planets and the stars, but for telling me that I could achieve the stars when I thought only the moon was possible. Thank you for the countless card games and for listening to me talk about my hardships. Thank you for being the kind of mentor that someone can't forget. But most importantly, thank you for being the reason why I come to school every day.
I left my paper in my bag, so I'm gonna be speaking from the heart up here. I'd like to honor Mr. Lang. When I was in middle school, 7th grade, I was low-key bad student. I was all right, though. I came into that class thinking I was gonna hate science because that was one of my worst subjects, but he made it fun. So every day I came, I used to look forward to coming to his class. When I was in the 7th grade, I got injured on the field, and every day he would be the first person to make sure I was okay. Every time I came into his class, he would always ask me about it, seeing if I was fine, how I was feeling, and stuff like that. And then the next year, I really respected him because I got into a situation in school to where I could have got suspended, but I wasn't. Everyone else lectured me about it, even though I was protecting a friend. But he was the only person who came to me and realized what I was actually doing and was the only one who didn't try to lecture me. And he actually sat with me and talked to me about it. So with all that being said and done, he was one of my favorite teachers from middle school, and I really appreciate him for that.
Today, I chose to honor Miss Sarah. Writing this, I I'm not talking to everyone here, I'm talking to her personally. Miss Sarek, I don't even know where to begin because words feel too small for what you have meant to me. From the moment I've walked into your classroom, you've made me feel seen, valued, and capable of more than I ever believed, because God knows I didn't believe myself. You didn't just teach me English, you helped me grow into a stronger person who believes in themselves. When I was at my lowest, overwhelmed, and close to giving up entirely, I came to your classroom crying. You were there. You gave me hope, reminded me I was worth fighting for, and believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. That belief changed the direction of my life. Your care went far beyond the classroom. You and your family never treated me like I was any less than anyone else. And that kindness showed me how powerful genuine support can be. You taught me that struggling doesn't mean failing, and that asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. No matter where your career takes you, please know this. You have made a real and lasting difference. Without you, my life would be on a completely different path. Miss Sarek, I consider you family. You are one of the most important people in my life since starting high school. Thank you for believing in me, for never giving up on me, and forever changing my life in ways I will carry with me forever.
I'm glad I got the opportunity to call Mr. Rolder my coach for 4 years. From when I was the little freshman joining the soccer team, to me deciding to do bowling out of the blue, to him following me to football after he stopped coaching soccer. He helped me grow not only as an athlete, but as a person also. Mr. Rolder gave me the chance to show off and improve my leadership skills. As a sophomore, he chose me to be a co-captain, putting his faith in me that I could lead the team of students older than me. I hope I can continue to use these leadership skills in the future. From day one of soccer, he always saw my full potential, even when sometimes I didn't see it in myself. At bowling, he was always on me and pushing me to be better and showed a confidence in me that I was able to shine through to me and allow me to be confident in myself. I was constantly pushed in many ways to be the best person I could be. Mr. Rolder wasn't just someone I could reach out to on the field, but also inside of the school. I knew I could always come to him if I ever needed help with anything or just someone to talk to. He always made it easy to talk to him and made it known that he was there for his students whenever they needed someone. The one moment I'll never be able to repay Mr. Rolder for is when I felt like the entire school was against me and felt isolated. He had my back and made sure I kept my head up and pushed through. He taught me that the hardest experiences can be learning moments to show you who your real friends are. I will forever be thankful for him being there for me when I needed it most. I'm glad to not only call Mr. Rolder my coach, but my friend.
First, I'd like to say congratulations to all the honored teachers. Board members, you did a great job in your selections. Just for the cameras, let's do this before we have the honored teachers have a seat. Why don't we turn around and hand them their plaques, and you guys can all hold your plaques up and take them with you when you go. But, Joe, I want to make sure we get them up there. Let's have one more round of applause for our honored teachers. Thank you, folks. At this time, you can find your seats. While the teachers are finding their seats, I'll let everybody know during the day today, and obviously everybody up there has a counterpart that they work with and that they are up there representing.
Girl, I literally just made mine today.
And as the teachers make their way to the seats, what I'll ask is that all counterparts at this time, please come up and stand behind your student, except the front row. Do what the teachers did the first time around. Stand off to the sides until it's time for them to be spoken about down there. Thanks.
We're all standing up.
No, we're not. Okay. What do you want to do?
All right, Mr. Rice.
Today, my counterpart was Mr. Rice, and today I learned like how his job is more of like an emotional based type of like
emotional.
Not really like
telling you.
like
That's what you got out of it.
Well, and plus he's also like gave me advice about like college and stuff, and he also told me about just like, and we was really just talking about like in general. And
before you introduce others.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. You know, I told Keontae a story today. I said, Keontae, about 10 years ago, as we were up here and we were introducing, the story that the student came out of my office and me saying was that I had, I do everything in the district and I had the hardest job in the district. I told him, I never said that. I don't know where they came up with that. So just make sure that you don't say anything like that tonight. Keontae is a great person, but he failed me in that regard. I do want to say it was great spending some time with Keontae. We did. We talked a lot about after school and going to college and preparing for life and all that. And very together, got his goals and direction ready to go. So at this time, Keontae, did you bring anyone with you tonight?
Yeah, I brought my mom and my dad right there next to each other.
He also said good things about you too.
My name is Aliana, and today I was shadowing Trustee Gina. I've learned that there's a lot that goes behind the scenes of being in this job. So yeah. I came with my mom.
And I actually wasn't here this morning, so I don't have a whole lot to say about how that went, but this is always one of the most fun events, and I hope that, I'm excited that you guys had a run for some positions here, so you know you can get used to that and keep doing it forever, and just keep running for things.
Exactly.
Did you say your name? Oh, okay. I'm Leilani Duhay-Lonsod, and today I shadowed Mr. McCartney?
That's right.
Mr. McCartney. He unfortunately wasn't here today because busy man. He's got a lot going on in his life. So I'm sorry. But what I got from today was I learned a lot more about how like the merging of the schools was gonna work, because I did have like a lot of questions on how it would work, and it was pretty cool to like have that insight. Yeah. So I brought my parents, and then my brother and my sister, and yeah.
Your brother, the really shy one, right? Yeah. Right. Unfortunately, I am extremely busy and very important, so I'll just.
More than Dave.
Yeah, way more than Dave. I'm sorry I couldn't spend time with you today. I know you do come from a wonderful family, and there's nothing but great things to say about that family. All credit to Mom and Dad.
Hi, my name is Devin Wilson, and I got the honor to shadow Mr. DeFleece. What I learned today was that this job isn't just like you say this or you monitor that, but you also have to listen, and you also have to be able to hear what another person has to say, because not your opinion can be your own opinion, but you might have somebody else that says something else, and you might want to talk about. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, it wasn't just like a he say, she said. It's a listen and response type of thing, especially with sensitive topics, especially like stuff going on in today's world. It's not just I think this should happen without this or that. It's it's a listening type of thing. And unfortunately, my parents was not able to come today, but I did drag Alyssa Grimes and her mother out here.
Are you done?
My
turn?
Go ahead.
So it was a very interesting day. This actually started this weekend. I gave him a call and asked him if he had any questions about things. He was a little nervous, and I told him everything will be fine. I was right? Yes. Okay. So I just want to tell everybody, I ask a lot of questions. I probably ask too many questions, right, Teresa?
No, not at all.
And I want to tell you what, these kids responded. I asked them questions, they responded. They gave us a lot of good information today, I feel. And I think as parents, I have a son that goes to school here too. But parents, you should be very proud of these kids. And we're in good hands with these kids. And God bless everybody.
My name is Madison. I was shadowing Mr. Blaskowski today, and talking with him, I learned a lot about what goes on, or what goes into running a school district, and just how many different processes there are. It's not just one person doing everything. There's hundreds of people who work to make this community work, I guess. And he also showed me that it's important to stay with a career you love, and that it's important to be passionate about what you want to do in life.
Maddie, did you bring anybody with you?
Oh, and I brought my parents.
Go Lakers.
No cousins, though?
No,
cousins.
not today.
All right. I know her cousins back in the day when I was at Eastland. So what's so nice about today, I actually worked with Leah and Maddie today, and both U of M?
Hopefully. Yeah.
All right. You just say yes, not hopefully.
Yes.
Yes. And so you talk to these kids and you really get a sense of hope for the future. And that's reassuring. Sometimes in my position, it's a lot of firing off and bad news and trying to put out flames and not me, Dave. Yeah, Dave. And so it's really good to have an opportunity to work with these great kids and see what great futures they have in front of us. And so Maddie, poli-sci, possible lawyer, that's impressive. Yeah, so, never give up on your dream. And we also talked about paths may change, but always set that goal. But you're on your way, girl. You're going to do great things.
Hi, I'm Lisa DeFore, and my counterpart is Teresa Janae, the president of the board. And today I learned that in this position you have to have a lot of confidence. My script was awfully long, but I managed to push through it. I really honestly don't do like social interactions like this very often, so this was like me stepping out of my comfort zone, and I really appreciate the time I had with the class of 26. I feel like today we all got to like bond in a way that we probably wouldn't have bonded before, and I definitely wanted to say thank you for everybody that put this together because I really enjoyed this experience.
Well, Lisa's threatened to take my job, so I'm going to give it to her.
And I came with my mom and my brother and my boyfriend.
Oh, there you go. Anything else you want to say?
And Mr. Booker and Mrs. Booker are also here too.
You done now? You lost your shyness all of a sudden.
Yeah, coming out of that shell.
Thank you for doing such a fine job today. I hope you had fun. We learned a lot about all of you. I'll tell you, you guys were a trip. We really had a lot of fun with all of you, as you could tell. And we hope wonderful things for you. Look for you at graduation. And just remember that your day, I want you to have this. You can't hammer it too hard, but okay.
I'm Matthew Bowman, and I'm shadowing Kevin, which I know him through the church we go to. And what I learned from this is it's pretty simple to me because it's really.
What?
It seems like you just ask questions and you get information based on your questions, and yeah, you just.
See, Matthew, me and you have something in common. We have some questions.
Yeah, I brought my mother because my brother I think he's at a movie. Huh? Oh, they went to Open Swim. I wasn't working today because, yeah. Yeah.
Today was a first-time experience. I normally do the breakfast in the morning and just retired in April, so I was able to spend most of the day with this gang today, and it was truly an experience. And like Teresa said, and a couple other members have said, a great group of kids here, and you as parents should be proud of these kids and continue to push them, and they did a great job today. Matthew, one thing I do have to tell you, that cell phone is used for purposes of, returning messages when people leave you messages. And, I asked him, do you ever look at your messages? Nope. Which is a first. I can't believe that. But Miss Mead, the incident with the slap, what's going on? Do we have to talk more about that? Or no? Okay. I'm teasing. Yeah, where's the lawyer? Gary, we need to talk about this.
It's a figure of speech.
Okay. Today, I learned that everything that I originally thought of the board has been completely blown away, because today with Miss Williams, we talked about the things that people in the board actually do. Although they don't necessarily get paid much for it, they really do it to help out the students. That shows that they really care deeply about them. And we also discussed the problems that may have came up in school, and she decided that she might bring it up in their next meeting. And yeah, that's it. And today I brought my auntie here, right there.
Okay, so Aaron, he's kind of quiet. He was really nervous. I think he did a great job up here, but he was a little nervous. It took some talking. He's going to go into law. So I said, if you're going into law, you have to talk to people. You're going to have, and I told him way back when I was his age, too, I was quiet, too. I said, but you can come out of that. You grow out of it. So we discussed that. I think he did an excellent job up here. And I'll say that all the young people that were with me, that we were in the room talking, they had a lot of questions. They had a lot to say, and it was great. They gave us a lot of feedback, and it was some good feedback and things, that needed to be said. So that was good. And I just want to say I enjoy this so much. I love that they get to talk about people who inspired them. I think this whole session is just wonderful. I love this. Okay.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Page, and today I just learned that there's multiple different people that it's basically like a anthill. There's a lot of different people working to make sure that things are getting done, like the food parts, the bills, the building, the heating, the cooling, the janitorial, all that kind of stuff. And that I didn't have any reason to be nervous. All of the people here are really amazing and lovely, and I felt very welcomed, and it's really nice here, and that's all. Oh, and I brought my dad.
So, unfortunately, I had to work, but I got to stop by for lunch and say hi to the kids and say hi to Brooklyn. We were in touch via email, and she, I told her to reach out, with any questions and that. And the first piece of advice I gave her was, have fun. You're going to have a lot of fun, and don't be nervous. If you're nervous, everyone here is just incredibly nice, and we're all just people, right? So Brooklyn's a lovely girl. She is going to be going to Western this fall, and she wants to go into physical therapy. So she's got a really bright future ahead of her, like all of you kids do. So just keep, don't let that what do you call it?
Senioritis.
Yeah, don't let the senioritis get to you too much. You're in the home stretch. Keep it up. Keep up the good grades. Keep up the good work. And you guys have wonderful things ahead of you.
My name's Leah, and I was meant to shadow Peter Headmark today, who's the assistant superintendent, but unfortunately he's out sick. So I got to work with Mr.
Blaskowski.
I got to work with him today, and his job is similar to assistant superintendent too, so I just learned that there's a lot that goes into it, and it's very stressful, but it's way more than just like answering emails or like doing paperwork. You really have to like talk to the community and like get to know them. And even when we were sitting down in his office, it was really nice because he was asking like me and Madison like, oh, what do you think should be changed with your school? So it really showed me that like he really does care about like our community, and it's nice to know that we have people up here who like really just care about getting to know us and help us out, I guess. And I came with my mom and my dad in the back.
So we have another future Wolverine here. We talked a lot about the components of human resources, from hiring to background checks to reports to the state and benefits and negotiations and all those pieces, just to get the people here for you. So there's a lot that goes behind that HR component. So we talked a little bit about that, and of course you got to hear about the superintendent side as well. So, but again, great future ahead with these kids. And I asked them, make sure you let us know even when you leave us, where you land, things that you've done, your successes. Tell your teachers out there, they like to hear that. It gives them hope and keeps them driving to do the job that they do. So don't be afraid to reach out to your teachers after you've graduated college, got your first job, or whatever the thing is. So thank you.
My name is Jada Jenkins, and today I shadowed Mrs. Ashbaugh, and I learned a lot about, there's just a lot that goes into running a school district and making sure each school has, the funds it needs to run. There's a lot that has to do with, upkeep of schools, paying staff, and it's a really thorough process, and there's a lot of people that help to allocate funds to where they need to be, and yeah, and I really enjoyed the conversation we had, and I learned a lot today, and I came with my grandma who's sitting in the front.
So I actually had a chance to meet Jada a little bit earlier. She actually came to our last board meeting, so it was wonderful meeting her and her grandmother. And it was wonderful talking with her more today. She comes from a long line of educated, smart, accomplished women, and she's going to go on to Detroit Mercy in the healthcare industry, so I think she's going to go far in that field. I'm looking forward to hearing how she does in the future. I probably bored her to death talking about money and budgeting and audits and everything today, but she was a very gracious listener, so I appreciate that. And while I have this microphone, I also wanted to recognize Nevaeh Scandalis. She's actually an extern student in my office. She actually works in my office, so she's doing a wonderful job. So I appreciate you, Nevaeh.
Hi everyone, my name is Rayam Saror, and today I was given the opportunity to shadow the counterpart, Mr. Joe Smith, the building and grounds director. I was able to learn so many new things about this position and all the other positions as well. The biggest thing I have taken away from today is how much work and planning goes into managing buildings and grounds and all the other positions as well. For all Roseville Community Schools. He also gave me a lot of good advice for my future, which I am grateful for. And yeah, I want to thank everyone for this opportunity and being able to be here today and learn so many new things. So thank you.
Yeah, it was a great day. Sounds like she's going to have a great future. She wants to be a nurse, and my wife's a nurse, so we sat and chatted with that and joked for a good 45 minutes laughing, and just had fun today. We shared our greatest fear together. We have that in common, which is talking in public. So I let her know that I still got that, still get the butterflies too. So, but your part on this was pretty big, and you killed it. So, very good job, and good luck to you.
My name is Kamarion Garth, and what I learned was that a lot goes into like the whole board, and it was more than I thought. And I also learned that everyone here is like way nicer and more respectable than I thought they would be. No offense, though, no offense. And I didn't really bring anyone, but I see two of my friends there, so.
That works.
Hi, I'm Gary Collins. What I love about this meeting is the amount of caring we see for other people. There's so much conflict in our society, and it's nice to have a meeting where all we're doing is showing caring as opposed to conflict. And this is a wonderful meeting. It means a lot to all of us. I want to thank all the people who are coming, all the adults and all the students for showing us the caring is worthwhile. And thank you so much. Thank you.
My name is Lucas Sides, and today I learned that technology kind of runs all the schools in the district and keeps the district running. And there's not a lot of people that work for them, but they definitely do more than like the amount of people that they have. And then I also learned that it feels like almost everybody in this building that works here knows my mom. So yeah, and I brought my grandparents and my mom today.
It was a joy to put the name with the face. We know Mrs. Sides for years. She's very proponent of Roseville schools, attends the parent meetings, provides input to our administrative staff here at the central office building. And so it's nice to see that she's involved with us. Finally, a chance to meet Lucas. We hear about Lucas. We read about Lucas. He's going to be a pilot. He's hoping to someday, or he's applied to go to Purdue University, but he does have a backup plan of either Western or Oakland, so he can be a pilot. But it's just so nice to see, when I have nieces and nephews that are going into high school, I say, get involved, do things. They have a lot to offer. That's your experience. And everybody here has done that, and it's just great to see that. Got lots of memories, so good job, Lucas.
Hi guys, I'm Miles Merriweather. I shadowed Miss Nicole Provo, and what I really learned is she touches the big money. And also how strict the requirements is to like use said money for our schools. It's not just, okay, we get a certain amount of money, we can use it on whatever. We already have a fund for that, guys. We can't just like sorry, Mr. Benton, you can't just use our money like that anymore. But she really was telling me more about how it's more complex than just looking at it as, oh, we agree to use this money for one thing, then we go and use it for everything around. If we have extra, we can't just like leave that money over. We have to use that as well. We can't just like let it sit for the next year and the year after that. Oh, and I came with a lot of people. Kiwan's family, my friends right here. Yes, you too.
I like the snaps. I really enjoyed my time with Miles. I keep wanting to call you something different, but it's okay. And also, this morning, I thought you said that you were going to Michigan State, but it was actually Mississippi State. So I was confused about that. But wherever you go, I know you're going to be successful. And a lot of our conversations like that we had was not all about the big money, but it was about like some lessons in life. And I feel like the lessons in life that you have learned and that I recognized in you are resilience and adaptability. And I know that because of those lessons, you'll go far in life. And I'm excited for you, whether you're at Michigan State or Mississippi State.
My name is Kiwan Lewis. Today I was shadowing Mr. S. Don't really know how to pronounce the name still. I learned a lot about the transportation progress and stuff. Apparently, I didn't know you needed a CDL to drive a bus, but yeah, and that's a long process, I'm not gonna lie. They also have a program to where they send like vans out to pick kids up who can't really find transportation to school from their front door, which is I find really cool, and it's no matter how far. They can even come like to 8 Mile, which is crazy. But and then I also found out how much it costs for a school bus and even an electrical. And I found like I was putting 2 and 2 together. You could supercharge in a bus for the like cost of a TRX. And it's crazy. And I would like to thank the people that came out today. My ma, my grandpa, my auntie, my cousin Melika, and then that baby y'all keep on hearing yapping.
I had the pleasure of being with Kwan today. We had some pretty good conversations about transportation, had lots of good questions. He found out that my position is not quite as emotional as Mr. Rice's. I don't know what that's about, but Kwan works for the rec center in the summer, and he didn't realize that we actually take them on their trips this summer because he asked me, hey, do you guys do transportation for the rec center? And I said, well, yes, we do. And he's like, well, I did work there. So that was pretty cool. He's going on to Illinois, playing football, studying film. Best of luck to you, Kwan. Nothing but the best.
Hi, my name is Justine Brunn, and I had the honor of shadowing Mr. Janae, who is our communications and marketing facilitator. I've known Mr. Janae as long as I've been in the district, and probably even longer. But I never really knew what all went into his position. I found out that he doesn't do the same thing every single day. It's a little bit of everything, a little bit of editing, a little bit of filming, a little bit of photography, a little bit of writing. And I think that is really, really cool because it keeps your life exciting. I also learned that our TV station that we have, according to the last survey, nobody watches it, which I find really interesting. So please go watch our TV station.
The cable station? Oh,
Yes.
Not your stuff you do in school.
No, not
Cable
WRHS. The actual cable station that Roseville Community Schools provides to the community. And it was really cool just getting to hang out with him and talk with him more than I have previously. Thank you, Mr. Janae.
Yes, it was really nice hanging out with Justine today. We've got to know each other since she's been at the high school, whether it's through WRHS or the 100-year anniversary, journalism, Link Crew. I mean, she's one of those kids that's the heartbeat of a good high school, like a lot of these kids are. So, it's we say it all the time. It's one of these events that is great to see because you get to see the staff members honored who make such an important difference in kids' lives. Justine plans on going to school to be a history teacher, and there is zero doubt that she will be influencing students in the same way. Hopefully here, but no pressure. But yes, it was really great hanging out with Justine, and I know she has an incredibly bright future.
Wait a minute, Joe. Justine, who did you bring today?
My mom is up there, and my dad's in the back, and that is all I came with.
Science is better. Science is better.
Jade's counterpart was Miss Tamala, Teresa Tamala, who's the special education director. She was here all day with her, wasn't feeling great, couldn't tough it out tonight, but she sent me a little something to say, but I'll let Jade go ahead and start.
I'm Jade Johnson, and I was shadowing the director of special education, Miss Tamala. I was really nervous coming into this. I never really do public speaking, but her kindness really eased my nerves. And she taught me about how it's more difficult than I would think to work in special education departments, especially when it comes to unwilling parents and things like that. So I think people who work with special needs students and things like that are really strong people. And she also showed me some examples of things that really help students with autism and ADHD get through the school day. Like for people who are autistic and can't speak, they have little cards and stuff that they can use, and I thought that was really sweet and cool. So, yeah. And I'm here with my dad.
Miss Tamala said, "It was a pleasure to spend time with Jade today. She asked great questions, and I hope learned a little bit about the special education programs and services we have throughout the district. She impressed me by stepping outside her comfort zone to participate tonight. I wish her the best as she pursues her goal to study veterinary medicine."
I'm Nevaeh Scandelis, and I was following the coordinator of food service, Miss Dysard, and she taught me about everything that goes into food processing and food service in general. I learned that she and a group around her makes the food lunches, like the lunch menu for every school, like the grades, every month. She does that every single month and makes like the whole thing, and it's crazy. And then like all the restrictions that go into making that menu and the pricing with it and everything, I learned all about that, and I had a lot of fun learning it too. I came with my dad over there recording me speaking.
It was a pleasure working with Nevaeh, talking to her and explaining about all the regulations that we have to follow. It's not just we provide food and we provide food that, you know, people don't want, you know, and everything, but we're regulated to do that. So, you know, one of the biggest things is beans on the menu every week. And that's a regulation. We're required to provide beans on the menu every week. We also talked about she's going to Ferris State and studying psychology, and I know she'll do well. She came and introduced herself to me a couple of weeks ago, and then she sent me all these interview questions about myself and everything. Made me really have to think about, you know, think a lot about, you know, what was my greatest accomplishments in my job, how long I had been in it, what qualifications I had to have the job. So it really had me thinking about, you know, she really had a lot of questions making me think about, you know, my job and what I did and how did I get here. And I wish everyone well in the future in all of their endeavors.
Before we have the students wrap up the meeting, I do want to acknowledge, there was a ton of people that did a lot of work to make this happen, and I want to acknowledge somebody who does an awful lot of work out of my office. That's Carrie Davis. She's in the back doing camera work right now. Carrie is the straw that stirs the drink in my office, and she's also a shoulder to cry on when I'm an emotional wreck, which is nearly every day. So at this time, I'll have the, do you guys step down or do we finish with you guys up there?
Just curious, I think you're talking about curious, because the president's going to finish the meeting right now.
All right.
I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Wilson will make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
I need a second motion to adjourn the meeting.
Duhay Lonside will second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good night, everyone.